This is the award-winning Lee Pitts Live.
Brought to you by Lee Health.
Southwest Florida, welcome back to Lee Pitts Live. We're so thrilled to get a renowned attorney here in the studio and get some legal advice and learn more about her firm. Her phone number will be on the screen and her website throughout this interview. So without further ado, let's welcome counselor here, Devika Carr. Welcome to Lee Pitts Live.
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm
Good
excited.
Good to have you here. Now, when you were a kid, did you think you'd grow up to be an attorney?
Absolutely not. It actually was never anything I had ever thought about.
Tell us how that happened.
So essentially, I was living in Ohio, and like most people at a young age, I went to college, I excelled academically, I was well-rounded, but I found myself after undergrad not doing what I thought I really loved. And so I got laid off from my job and found myself in a crisis, personally and professionally. I was broke and alone.
Really?
And I decided to pick up and move to a place where I had little connections and knew practically no one. I knew one person. So I moved from Ohio to Florida, and 8 years later, here I am. And I went to law school, became a lawyer, and started my own practice.
That sounds like a movie.
I don't know, maybe.
Or a book or something.
Well, I am working on a book.
One of the things that I noticed about you as a lawyer, from even the first time I met you, is that you have a community service angle to what you do. You care about people. Is that uncommon amongst lawyers?
I don't want to say that it's uncommon, but the reason I joined this legal profession was the promise of a career where you could help people and improve people's lives, and that excites me so much. And I wanted to create a business model where I could be community-centered and focused, and also create services for people that were future-focused. So it's really exciting to me that I get to start my own business and do that and really give the community what they deserve from this profession.
When you look at obstacles that you have overcome that shapes the way your ideology plays out, I know you mentioned a few things. Is there anything else you'd like to add to that?
Absolutely. As a former assistant public defender in Broward County, I worked for 2 years, managed over 250 cases at a time. And what I learned is 3 things. 1, how the system should work. 2, how it actually works. And 3, how much greater the reach has to be in the community in order for change to actually be effectuated. So seeing the obstacles in the community and what actually needs to happen is what I want to do the most.
And people in the Broward County area, those are the people who really need to be reaching out to you. They're seeing your phone number on the screen. Let's describe Broward County. For people who may not know, that would be Fort Lauderdale. What are some big cities in that area?
I actually service Broward County, Miami-Dade, and West Palm Beach. I am looking to further my reach, so if people in this particular area want to contact me, I encourage them to do so as well. But we're talking about Fort Lauderdale, Miami, Boca, you know, those large named cities, but also the smaller ones.
In the state of Florida now. So you're certified to practice law throughout the state of Florida, because people may be
Absolutely.
seeing you anywhere. So all around the world for all practical purposes. What are some services you provide? What do you specialize in, would you say?
So I specialize in future-focused services. So what's really great is I get to meet people and ask them what their goals are. What do they want personally, professionally, and financially? And then I look to see what their legal challenges are, and I show them how that challenge can be affecting what their goals are. And then we create a plan to attack the legal challenge and to also do what we can to improve their chances of achieving their goals. So that's really the model that I've created. So I really work one-on-one with my clients. I encourage them to be engaged at all times, but to know that I'm community focused and that I truly care about their futures.
Give me a for example.
For example, in terms of, well, my practice area is criminal defense and immigration primarily. What I'm trying to do is merge the two into something called crimmigration. So what that means is people who have immigration issues may have also experienced a criminal defense issue at some point in their life.
Okay.
And it has a significant effect on their future in terms of becoming a U.S. citizen. So that's one example of how we can look at what their goal is, for example, becoming a citizen, see how criminal defense or the criminal law has affected them, and try to regroup and change some of the things that have happened to them.
So that, with your mindset and your ideology, you would be involved in a lot of community projects. What are some projects you're involved in?
Absolutely. So a couple things I've been working on. I've been partnering with Barnes & Noble, a local Barnes & Noble in my area, and just getting out in the community, offering free information. I wrote my first book, very small, but it's called the Legal Literacy Cookbook, and it creates recipes for getting free information to people about just the legal process and how it actually works. things like that. I'm working with the local libraries as well.
Now, can people get to see that book on your website or some information on that book? Because I read the book, and it was just so interesting how you were able to give that advice and yet give recipes and talk about food at the same time. How did you come up with that concept? Are you like a hidden chef within you?
I'm not a hidden chef. My dad actually is the cook in my family, but I really wanted to find a creative way to reach communities and people and let them know that there's legal information that they deserve to have for free, but it shouldn't be complicated, and it's easy to digest and understand.
What is the biggest legal challenge that you have faced, and how did you solve it?
So interestingly enough, I am a trial attorney, and being in front of juries during trial has been the biggest challenge, because you realize that people say that they believe in innocence until proven guilty, but they don't actually believe in it. And so I'm kind of encouraging this new initiative, which is the new kind of innocence project, where people begin to accept and really truly believe in the ideology that people are innocent until proven guilty.
What do you say to children who are looking at you and other people like yourself as role models and want to do what you do, or something, a facsimile thereof? How should they get started? What should they be focused on now in elementary and high school levels?
So I grew up in a really small town in Delaware, 77 people in my graduating class. My biggest advice is that there is no dream that's too big to achieve, but really it's okay if you don't know what you want to do when you're small, or even when you're, a teenager or in college. I would say always listen to your heart and follow the things that are going to allow you to improve your communities, improve other people's lives, and also make you happy.
Now, along that way, you did not talk about and make money. Is make money something that you say is not important to you, or that comes as a part of giving good service?
Making money is important, I think, to most people, and I would be lying if I said it wasn't important to me. I have a big family, and I want to take care of my kids and my husband. But community service is most important, because I feel like if people are reached and people are encouraged to be more knowledgeable and more literate when it comes to certain issues, I think that the profits will come. I'm not so worried about the profit more than I'm worried about improving my community, and that's what matters.
Final question, what are some issues you see affecting South Florida?
I would say 3, awareness. There are a lot of people who don't realize that what they don't know is actually hurting them. 2, I would say opportunity. People don't realize that there's an opportunity to get ahead of legal issues and to prepare yourself for things that are going to happen to you. You don't have to wait until a legal issue happens to attack it. And 3rd, I would probably say self-esteem. I think in this climate of the media, politics, and social media and things like that, there's a lot of people who don't believe in themselves. They think that their goals and their successes aren't going to happen. So I think that those are the 3 areas that I'd really like to improve upon.
Excellent. Give your phone number and your website, even though we have it on the screen. Say it verbally for radio purposes.
Yes, 954-800-3464. My website is www.dcarlaw.com.
Well, Counselor, it's been a pleasure having you on the show. Look forward to getting you back in the future.
Thank you so much.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
As the saying goes on this particular show, for those who say it can't be done, they are usually interrupted by those like this fine attorney here, Devika, who are joining. We'll be right back on Leap This Live.
Thank you so much.